Today we'll be talking about exponential regression models. We're going to use this wolf population data to be our example. Before we even get started with exponential regression, we need to make sure that this actually is an exponential situation. The easiest way to do that is to make a scatter plot on your calculator. In a second, we'll be entering data, so follow along. If we're going too fast, pause the video and make sure that your data is entered correctly. So if you remember, we're going to hit Stat, go to Edit, and then enter the years in list 1, and then the wolf population in list 2. We want to make a graph of this information to see if it looks linear or if it looks exponential. So to make a scatter plot, we hit the second key and y equals. That's already listed as a scatter plot. We're also going to need to make a window. So you hit the second key and graph to make a window. My years range from 0 to 20, so I'm going to go -5 up to 25. And my y values for the wolf population go from 100 to 4,200. So I'm going to go from 0, I want to count by 5s there. I'm going to go from 0 to 4,500, and I'll count by 500s. So you can see that you have your points here on your graph starting at 0, 2, 5, and so on. So looking at this pattern, I can clearly see that there's a curve and that this graph is going to be exponential. So knowing now that it's exponential, I can go and use my exponential regression tool on the calculator to figure out what that exponential regression is going to be. So we can hit the Stat key, go to Calc, and you are going to scroll down on your calculator. It will be listed as 0 EXPREG. On mine it's A. So comes up on my main screen, and then I have to tell it where my information is. My years are in list 1, and my wolf population is in list 2. And we're going to hit enter. Now we have our A and B values to fill into our y equals equation. Since A equals 186.238, I'm going to round that to 186. We're talking about wolves here, so whole numbers are best. So my A is equal to 186. B is equal to 1.189, which I will round to 1.19. The general form for all exponential equations is y equals A times B to the x power. So when we plug our values in, we'll say y equals 186, parentheses 1.19 to the x power. From here, I want to check that this is actually going to work for my data, so I'm going to go back to my calculator and plug this equation into y equals and check it against the scatter plot that I made earlier. So we'll go to y equals and plug in our equation, 186 parentheses 1.19 parentheses to the x power. We'll hit graph, and then we'll see that this models the curve of the data. It's not a perfect match, but it does show that it is increasing at an increasing rate.